The science of thinking. For a long time, we've all wanted to know, how do we think? How do we generate our thoughts and emotions? Is it from the mind we make a decision, or is it from the heart we make a decision? Now you see, normally people would say that the mind is rational, it is practical, and the heart is very emotional and sentimental. Well, I'm not here to talk about that, because I'm here to tell you the scientific explanation of how human thinking really works. Now let us start with mind and work our way towards the heart. Now the mind. The mind is something which is a computational theory of endless possibilities that is beyond any technology present in the universe today. But there is one lagging point in the mind. The mind has endless desires as well. Now you think something which has the capability of endless possibilities and endless desires. That is why we have so many bright minds going ahead for the limited resources that are present on the earth today. Now along with the mind, the working of the mind has changed considerably ever since the evolution of mankind started. Now in older civilizations, the working of the mind was they first pipe people with the right knowledge about life in general, and that knowledge is being put to work and learned through experience in a person's life. When experienced, that knowledge translates into wisdom, and upon gaining wisdom, only then a person is fed with information, because they know how to handle and deal with the information that they receive. But fast forward to the modern world, we are drowning in information without the aspect of knowledge, so that we don't know what we have to do with the information in hand. This in so many ways can explain how human thinking in the modern world exists. Now the mind has a very complicated companion known as the brain. Now a scientist defines the relation between mind and brain very simply, where he says your brain is the hardware and your mind is the software. Now both these things cannot work without one another. So before we go ahead with the mind, let us first understand a little bit about the brain. Now brain is viewed as something which has billions of neurons, and it sends these electrochemical signals which are nothing but our thoughts, emotions, actions, our likes, dislikes, and everything. Now more often than not, in a lot of people, it is this electrochemical signals that control us. We do not control it. If we control it, that brings us into a state of awareness where we know what we have to do. Now if we control those signals, then we would not let those signals get in our way of decision making. But if we let it control us, then we would be trapped in our own emotions. Now that is exactly what in the mind it is divided as two parts: conscious mind and subconscious mind. Now you see, the conscious mind just makes up for 5% of the total strength of the mind. Just 5%. So we are consciously aware of only 5% of our brain. Now when we talk about this 5% enables the entire thinking process of a human being. It gathers and analyzes every bit of information, and with a little bit of knowledge that we have gained, it decodes what is the right possible decision and sends it to you to enable it. And it is this conscious mind that has the short-term memory in your brain. Now let us move to the unconscious or the subconscious mind. This constitutes 90 to 95% of your entire mind. So we have not yet realized or aware of 95% of our mind. And actually it is 100% the mind is unconscious, but we have consciously realized only 5% of it. We are actively only present in that 5%. It is in this 95% of subconscious mind that all our deep emotions on who we really are, what the world actually is, how we perceive it and how we should not perceive it, and how actually it has to be viewed, all exist. But we don't view it as it is something that is not attractive to look at. Now I'll tell you one small example for that. Imagine there is a carpenter cup, and imagine there is a golden cup. which one are you more likely to choose? You're more likely to choose the golden one because it is more attractive to the eye. The golden one is the conscious mind. The unattractive one is always the subconscious mind, which we fail to choose. But the unattractive cup, when we drink it, it becomes very attractive and tastes like honey. That is exactly how conscious and subconscious mind works. Though it seems a little hard and complicated at first, it is very simple if we just follow the simple process of awareness. The subconscious mind does not know you personally. That is for the conscious mind. So the subconscious mind does not know what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. It only follows the metaphysical and eternal truth in life. It generally, what it knows about you is what your conscious mind feeds it. And that is exactly where the heart comes into play. Now, many of us, we think that heart is only used for the life sustenance in our body, which is wrong in so many ways, because the heart is the center of the physical body. That is why thousands and thousands of years ago in Sanskrit they called heart as Hridaya. Hridaya literally means center, this the physical body. So Hridaya is the center of every physical body. But in some sciences they say Hridaya is the center of mankind. Well, but in Indian philosophy, especially in the Bhagavad Gita, that place is reserved for the soul, which is believed to be the center, epitome point of all mankind. Now there is a fun fact here, a very interesting and illuminating fact. It is the heart that sends so many fibers to the brain instead of the other way around. So without the heart, the brain and the mind does not even exist. Because for the working of the heart, it does not need the brain as much as how much the brain needs the heart. So indirectly, what you're thinking is from your heart, which is transmitted through these waves and electrochemical signals, which we perceive to be our thoughts and emotions. Now the heart is neutral. The heart always has best interest of you at its heart, if that makes any sense. Because the heart views only with the logical standpoint of how it will be good for this particular physical body to carry out one's own works. It is this very same science that is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, where it says you have to be completely one-pointed in your thinking. Because when you're one-pointed in thinking, for your eyes, there are only one reality. To a question asked, you could either answer yes or no and not beat around the bush with too many possibilities of answers. That is the same thing on how people who have understood the reality think more from their subconscious mind than from their conscious mind, because they have made most of their mind conscious with the intent of knowing about the world as a whole. And that's what this verse from the Bhagavad Gita says. And that's a wrap for this particular episode. And as always, thank you for watching, and until next time, it is goodbye.